Once a moneymaker for the city of San Diego, curbside recycling will now cost the city millions of dollars a year.
China is partly to blame. News 8's Alicia Summers is live in Kearney Mesa to explain. Alicia?
Well, new recycling policies in China are forcing us to subsidize most of our recyclables instead of profiting from it. A city council member says this is a recycling crisis countrywide, but there is something you could do about it to help locally. The city of San Diego started its Blue Bin curbside recycling program in 1999. It was convenient, helped us be good stewards of our environment, and made millions by selling the recyclables to China. But now, 20 years later, China is cracking down with new, stricter policies.
It basically shut off the tap for all the materials from curbside programs, with the exception of cardboard.
San Diego earns about $3 to $4 million a year in recycling revenue. Starting this fiscal year on September 1st, recycling will be a money loser. The city estimates it will have to pay up to $65 million over 10 years to send the majority of our recyclables to other destinations.
Vietnam or South Korea, Indonesia.
A move the city says is unavoidable.
There are state mandates requiring the recycling of the materials, and as well as the city has the Climate Action Plan and the Zero Waste Plan, which is one of the 5 key pillars of the Climate Action Plan.
China is also imposing stricter contamination allowances, which means there is no room to accept an entire shipment if non-recyclables and dirty recyclables get in, something that happens all too often. We found this recycling bin. It's not staged, and we're going to look inside. Already I see several no-nos. You can't recycle plastic wrap, candy bar wrappings, coffee cups, plastic bags, or napkins. This is a staged can. It's a display that shows you what you should be recycling. We have a plastic toy, a soup can, there's a hair conditioning bottle and a yogurt container, and some junk mail. The city says residents can help by focusing on the correct items to recycle to improve the purity of our recycling stream.
If the people can just do the really basics, just put in the right materials, keep them empty, clean, and dry, it really makes a big difference for us and for our processors. Now, if the world markets rebound and we have quality materials, meaning we keep our recyclables correct and clean, like you see in this display bin here, for example, you want to wash out any peanut butter jars and like this tuna can, you want to wash that out as well, then there is a chance we'll have recycling revenue again. For more education on how to help the recycling crisis, you could visit sandiego.gov. We'll send it back to you.
All right, got to make sure that we police ourselves and only recycle the things that are recyclable. Thanks, Alicia.